Hello there, and what is up, YouTube? Clank Bay here, and today, guys, we're going to be taking a look at Transformers, Age of the Primes, Armada, Red Alert. Now, basically, with this review, it's kind of just going to be like I kind of just want to test this new setup idea I had. So basically, the table I'm at is the table that you'll see in my collection video. If you watch that, you'll know what table I'm talking about. Because where I had filmed my other reviews, that's the table I normally film my stop motions on and my do my toy photography on. That's what I was normally doing. But I was kind of like, well, let me kind of bring it here where it's like a smaller table, and it's probably like easier to access and get stuff moved around, probably where I needed to be and mess around and yeah. And also, I am going to try using the arm I have. Now, it kind of is broken in one part because the piece that connects to the part that clamps onto the table, it's missing. So I am going to be ordering a new one this week at some point. So I am going to at least try it this way, kind of just get a feel for this. And plus, I think the new one I'm going to order is probably a bit more, what's the word? Has a bit more mobility, because this one is kind of like you stick it in the one and then you kind of can only put it in like in the one position and really can't move it anywhere else, or it's like, man. But anyway, guys, so pretty much enough of that. I do want to try to bring reviews to the channel, so basically, with Transformers, maybe some figure arts and maybe Mayfex. I'm not entirely sure yet. We're just kind of testing the waters, and I'm just kind of seeing what we do here. And like whenever I'm getting like some free time on my days off, to where I can like kind of sit down and figure out exactly what I want to do and how I want to do, and then kind of just testing stuff out and figure out exactly what I want to do and how I want to do it. So we're kind of just testing stuff out. And so if you guys have any ideas or suggestions, like I said, leave some feedback down in the comments below. But anyway, guys, so enough of me rambling. Let's get right into the review. So first off, we're going to go ahead and take a look at his accessories. So first off, he comes with, his little two little handgun things that, that Red Alert is known for. If we can get you to focus right here. Well, let's go ahead and put them both in hand so it can focus. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, so it comes with two of these little ones right here. This one, I believe, is the one that's more show accurate because it has the little things on the side. And this one, I did relook at pictures before reviewing, just to refresh my memory of the original toy. And the original toy did come with two, I believe. I mean, you'll have a picture over here somewhere to show it off. But yeah, so this is kind of reminiscent of that, I believe, of the toy design. And I don't remember if Red Alert switched between them, like his hand did that, or if it was just like the static one. Because I know, like, with this one, I remember it will like go from, it would go from he could use that as like a blaster to like using it to repair stuff. So there was that. And then also you do have his little gun, or his gun that, whenever Long Arm would power links with him, it would pop out of his back, which, we don't get Long Arm. And then you do have this little thing right here, which is kind of, if it will focus. Come on. Focus, baby. This is the one thing I don't like. This is the one thing I don't like about trying to film on the phone. Because it never wants to focus when you want. It wants to focus everything what you want. Okay. But yeah, it has like this little thing right here, which is reminiscent of the missile. And you can plug that in right there. And yeah, you have that. And also, if you just want to, just for fun, you can plug these parts in here. Just for the heck of it, and that's also cool. Which I do like the look of that. That does look cool. But I think mostly, crap, I can't get it out. I think mostly I might just display mine either like that or just without it. Because honestly, I can't remember. Because, I think in the show it really didn't. It was kind of, just a big hole there. So I kind of, maybe some body will probably make like a little cover part, but maybe I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'll probably have an image right here, like maybe kind of replicate maybe the front of it, or like maybe kind of like with the toy, where it was a missile and like went all the way in, and it wasn't like jutting out like it does here, and like these parts were they were kind of more like stored in here, where it was like it was kind of like two little missiles get ready to shoot out. So maybe somebody can probably make like a little part. Where it's like kind of just the two little nubs there, and you just have it connected to the bolt, to the little peg there, and then it's just something like that. I mean, something like that would be cool. But anyway, guys, so that's pretty much all the accessories he comes with. No, he does not. His chest is not split open. I've tried. I couldn't get it to work, and I haven't seen anybody else do it. So unfortunately, he does not split open, and no, he does not come with his minicon partner. But yeah, so for accessory storage, you take his little hand cannons right here, and they just plug into his wrist hold that he has right there. Now you can interchange either one. I'm gonna go with this one because this was so accurate. And then on the back here, you have like a big old gap right there, and then you just pull that out. Then you have like the peg hole there, and then you just take the peg on this right here, and that just plugs in right there. And then yeah, he has like a shoulder mounted cannon, and long arm would combine right there, which they do got the port right there that's reminiscent of it. Which hold on, let me grab a minicon off the shelf. So basically how it would work is you take your minicon, or long arm would peg into the back, and hold on, we gotta go ahead and look at that. Which your minicons actually do work. So long arm would peg in the back, and then this would pop up, and then and then pop out, do some crazy effects. Red Alert would catch it, and then he'd do like a crazy dynamic pose, and he'd be like, wow. I don't know. I don't remember off the top of my head how he did it, but yeah. But no, come on, Hasbro. We need minicons, man. But I mean, I do still want to like maybe try to get the originals. Which honestly, I thought about maybe trying to retry the original figures, which mainly just since we've gotten the main color schemes of them, I thought about mainly just trying to get the Power Links ones. Since we got the updated main the traditional colored ones. So maybe just get the Power Links ones. They should probably be. Okay, I thought I broke the peg, but anyway. But anyway, so that just stores back in there. And anyway. And yeah, so that's pretty much all there is for the accessory storage in the robot mode, I believe. But yeah. So now getting into closer details on the Red Alert. I gotta say, this guy, yeah. I'm really happy with this. I'm really happy with how this turned out. He is like amazing, and he feels really, really, really good. Like he feels amazing. Because at first I thought he was gonna be a deluxe. Because I seen people do like make customs of the skids crankcase mold, and I think of the I don't remember his name, but it was the Jeep from the Jurassic Park set, which I don't remember if this is the same mold or if this is just like a new mold. I don't entirely remember, because I know I've seen some people say that that would have been a good idea for a Red Alert. I don't remember off the top of my head, and I really haven't seen people make the comparisons, so I don't know if this is the same thing or not, and I haven't experienced that figure, so I can't make it for sure. If you guys know, let me down below. But yeah, but I really have been enjoying this figure. That head sculpt looks really, really nice, and what is that a little bit? What's that? I think I got a little bit of paint scuff on mine. Well, I got a little bit of paint scuff on my mouth, but anyway, guys. But also, one thing I really, really do like about this Red Alert, he's got light piping. I really love light piping, guys. It's something I wish Hasbro would bring back for a lot of their figures. I really wish they would. Like, see, I think this guy would benefit from light piping, Because, I mean, his eyes just kind of blend into his head a little bit too much. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, he got a little auto. He's got his, if I can get the focus, Autobot logo right there. Got some nice detail on there. Got some nice translucent red for the headlights there. Nice yellow. Some nice gray. Some little bit of gunmetal. Then the side windshield's up there. Then you got, you know, his robotic regions. Then you got some nice details here on the arms. Like, yeah, this is Armada Red Alert. This is Armada Red Alert through and through, guys. Then you got a nice Autobot logo right, Autobot medic logo right there, which, you know, is about the same as medic logos we see with Ratchet right here. So that's nice. Then you go on the back, so you can kind of see how that looks. Which, I mean, obviously, you know, you have the gimmick right here, so it's not going to be too uniform, but I mean, hey, it works. And I'm just see now, articulation-wise, he doesn't really look up all that much, but he kind of can do the inch. He can do that, so that's something. Oh, well, no, okay, I'm stupid. You can get him to look up like that. If you kind of like, you can't get him to look up in like the traditional sense of doing it like that, but if you kind of can move the head just right, you can get him to look up like that. So you can go squirrel or bird or Starscream, whatever the heck you youngins say now. And then for looking down, he can go down about that much, which that's due to transformation. So yeah, because transformation, you open this up and push his head in. But anyway, so the arms, they do a full 360, which also do be careful, I believe, on the mushroom pegs here, because one of my buddies, he did pick up this figure recently, and I think he said on his the joints were tight, and he had moved the arms or something, and they had like broke on him. I haven't had that issue with mine. Mine are good, so let me just point that out. So just be wary of that. Arms, you get a pretty good 90-degree bend, which is, you know, due to transformation, but, you know, you got that right there. You do get some knife. You can turn his waist, 360 waist. He can pick up that fa. Also, another thing, since it just happened, one thing I don't like is how the heels do tend to they do tend to go back into place sometimes on me. I don't know why. They just do. So, yeah. So, sometimes I'd have to take my knife here and just get him back up. But, yeah, he can kick up that far. He really can't kick back that far because, you know, he's got a backpack. But he can bend about 90 degrees at the knee. Then he does have a little bit of articulation here. You know, which that's due to transformation. But if you want to make something work with that, you can. Then he does, you know, that's due to transformation, but you can make that work. He does have ankle pivot. And so, since I don't know, that's probably something we'll just start doing on the channel also. But if you want to make him be a cheerleader and see how far he can do the splits. There you go. You can do the splits that far. Alright, so for transformation, you're going to want to, you know, take this off because you really can't put them, they really won't fit inside the cubby hole where this stuff is. So, you can take that off. But, alright, so now you're going to, if I can get this to come up, yeah. Okay, you're going to lift this up and then this piece here. If I can get it to, this is why you have a little knife or something handy, or you keep your fingernails, which mine have been recently cut. So you lift that up, then you just push his head down, and then that's going to go in the place of head like that, and there. Now with the arms, you're going to lift them up, And they are basically going to kind of sort of tab in, if that makes sense. And then you're just going to, well, no, actually, I'm stupid. So you're going to rotate the arms. All right, so you're going to take the arms from that. Then you're going to rotate them that way to where you have the mushroom peg facing out. And then the mushroom peg, and then the hole here is going to go into the tab that's right there. So yeah, then you're going to snap it to place. Then you're going to bend the arm down. So he's going to be looking like that. Then, you know, second, same as the first, like that. So there we go. Then you're going to lift up his backpack. Then you're going to base. Well, before we do that, let's go ahead and do the legs. Set down here. And then we're going to lift up the heels. Then the feet are going to lift up. And then you are going to push. Turn around this way. You're going to push these in. So they go like that. And then they will. Okay, no, they don't lock into place like that. That's later. Anyway, so now you're going to take him and you're going to basically sandwich him. And also don't forget to flip out the back door. And the back door is how the legs and stuff are going to attach. And, you know, just line your stuff up. Then your arms are going to basically go into there. And then you got arms in the tab. No, actually, it's probably better if you actually do it. Look, guys, I'm learning, okay? I transform stuff differently. So anyway, before you do that, you're going to make sure your arms, they're tapping together. You can see it. There we go. Right. There. Okay. You're going to tab them together. Tap them like that. And yeah. And yeah. A nice little ambulance. And yeah. That looks like Armada Red Alert's ambulance mode. Alright guys, so now for some quick comparisons. Here he is next to his fellow medic, and technically other fellow medic, but also his G1 counterpart. And somebody's breaking into my house. And just because I recently acquired him last week because pre-orders, here he is next to the Studio Series reissue of the 86 Jazz. Here he is next to his fellow wavemates, or at least two of the fellow other wavemates that I have from the first wave of Age of the Primes. Here he is next to Longarm. Also, just because I thought about maybe trying to review these two to add to diversify content on the channel. Here he is next to the Mayfex Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and the SH Figure Arts Bakugo. And yeah, I know this is the one y'all were probably waiting for, but here we go. Here he is next to his fellow Autobots, Armada Optimus and Armada Hotshot. And yeah, all three of them look really, really, really good together. And I'm finally glad we finally got the original trio together. Now we just need Smokescreen, Blur, Sideswipe, Hoist. Well, technically, Hoist becomes Smokescreen, but I would like both. Scavenger, Jetfire. I need a Jetfire. The rest of the Decepticons, we still need Demolisher and Cyclonus to finish out the Decepticon main cast. And then we still need Thrust. And I believe we are getting Sideways from Armada Sideways. We are getting him, I believe. But yeah, guys, this has been my review of Armada Red Alert. And yeah, overall, I think this review style works a little bit better. Or at least this setup works a lot better than what I thought it was. I think it worked better. Yeah. So overall thoughts, I really do enjoy this figure. I am very happy we finally got Red Alert. Like I said earlier, he was like the main figure I was really wanting out of Wave 1. He was like my main main pickup. I really like. I want the primes, but like Megatronus, he's really tempting. I kind of really do want Megatronus, but look, my nostalgia was getting to me. My nostalgia was overtaking me in one. Okay, look, I want a red alert. I finally got red alert. Now I can focus on the rest of the line and everybody else. But yeah, overall, yeah. So, but yeah, I say if you guys can find him, pick him up. He's a really good and fun figure. Just be wary of what I said about the mushroom pegs. I don't know if that's a widespread issue or if it's just my buddy's copy, or if he just, I don't know, he might have just been doing something stupid with it, and he might have just messed it up on his own and just blamed Hasbro for it. But anyway, guys, so that's pretty much going to be it for today's video. Thank y'all for watching. Let me know what you think. Put any suggestions down below. Let me know if you guys want to see reviews of any other figures, or like the figures that I suggest or that I showed off earlier in the video. But yeah, I should have Bone Crusher coming in this week, I think. Yeah, he arrives Tuesday, so I should have a review of him up maybe Thursday, Friday. I don't know, sometime maybe end of this week, or maybe just next week in general. But anyway, guys, so that's gonna be it for today. Thank y'all for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and